Mm. Adobe Photoshop is rather a graphic is is rather a this should be rather graphic editor and developed and published by Adobe System for Mac OS and Windows. Photoshop was created in 1988 by Thomas and John Knoll. Since then, it has become the de facto industry in rather it should be rather graphics editing such that the word Photoshop has become a broad link to Photoshop in image photoshopping, and Photoshop contains two Adobe discourages such use. It can edit and compose rather image in multiple layers and support Mark's alpha compositing and several color models including RGB, CMYK, select, spot color, and two-tone. Photoshop has support bars for graphic file format, but also uses its own PSD and PSP file format which support all the aforementioned features. In addition to this should be rather graphics, it has limited abilities to edit or render text, better graphics, especially through flipping quad 3D graphics and videos. Photoshop feature set can be explained by Photoshop plugin programs developed and distributed independently of Photoshop that can run inside it and now offers or enhanced features. Photoshop naming scheme was initially based on version numbers. However, in October 2002, following the introduction of Creative Suite branding, its new version of Photoshop was designated with CS plus a member. Example, the major version of Photoshop CS and the non-major version was Photoshop CS2, Photoshop CS3, and through CS6 were also distributed in two different editions, standard and extended. In July 2013, with the introduction of Creative Cloud branding, Photoshop licensing scheme was changed to that of software as a service rental model, and the CS suffixes were replaced with CC. Historically, Photoshop was bundled with additional software such as Adobe Image Ready, Adobe Firewatch, Adobe Breeze, Adobe Device Central, and Adobe Camera Raw. Alongside Photoshop, alongside Photoshop, Adobe also developed and publishes Photoshop Element, Photoshop Lightroom, Photoshop Express, and Photoshop Test. Collectively, they are branded as the Adobe Photoshop family. It is currently a licensed software. Let me show you. This is the software CC14. The initial release 1943. Content early history file format plugin is here. We are going to go through all these contents. Photoshop tools, pen tools, font stamp tools, shape tools, measuring and navigation, selection tool, cropping, slicing, moving, marquee, lasso, magic wand, eraser, video editing, 3D extraction, mobile integration, camera raw, 3D printing tools, color enhance, color replacement tool, cultural impact, Photoshop disaster, Photoshop contest, version history, older versions CS2, CS3, CS4, CS5, CS6, and CC 2014, CC 2015, CC 2017, Photoshop tools. Reference and further reading external link. Early history. Photoshop was developed in 1987 by the American brother Thomas and Ken Knoll. Thomas and Thomas and Ken Knoll, who sold the distribution license to Adobe Systems Incorporated in 1988. Thomas Knoll, a PhD student at the University of Michigan, began writing a program on its Macintosh Plus to display grayscale images on monochrome display. This program called Display caught the attention of his brother Keno, an industrial light and magic employee who recommended that Thomas turn it into a full-fledged image editing program. Thomas took a 6-month break from his study in 1988 to collaborate with his brother on the program. Thomas renamed the program Image Pro, but the name was already taken. That year, Thomas renamed his program Photoshop and worked out a short-term deal with scanner manufacturer Bernie Scan to distribute copies of the program with a slide scanner. A total of about 200 copies of Photoshop were shipped this way. During this time, John traveled to Silicon Valley and gave a demonstration of the program to engineers at Apple and Roosevelt Brown, art director at Adobe. Both showings were successful and Adobe decided to purchase the license to distribute in September 1988. While John worked on plugin in California, Thomas remained an in-honor algorithm called Photoshop 1.0 was released in February 1990 for Mac Macintosh exclusively. The Bernie Scan version included advanced color editing features that were stripped from the first Adobe Shift version. The handling of color slowly improved with each release from Adobe, and Photoshop quickly became the industry standard in digital color editing. At the time Photoshop 1.0 was released, digital retouching on dedicated high-end systems such as the High-tax costs around $300 an hour for basic photo photo touching file format. Photoshop files have a default file extension as PSD, which stands for Photoshop Document. A PSD file stores an image with support for most imaging options available in Photoshop. This includes layers with marks, transparency, text, alpha channel, and spot color, clipping path, duotone, duotone setting. This is in co- contrast to many other file formats, example JPG or GIF, GIF that restrict content to provide streamlined, predictable functionality. A PSD file has a maximum height and width of 30,000 pixels and a length of 2 gigabytes. Photoshop files have sometimes have the file extension PSB, which stands for Photoshop Big, also known as the large document format. A PSB file extends the PSD file format, increasing the maximum height and width to 300 pixels, 300,000 pixels, and the length limits to around 4 exabytes. The dimension limit was apparently chosen arbitrarily by Adobe and not based on computer arithmetic constraint. This is not close to a power of 2 as it as it is 30,000, but for ease of software testing, PSD and PSP are documented. Because of Photoshop popularity, PSD files are widely used and supported to some extent by the most competing software. The most competing software, the PSD file format that can be exported to and from Adobe's other apps like Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Premiere Pro, and After Effects to make professional standard DVD and provide non-linear editing and special effects services such as background, texture, and so on for television, film, and the internet. Photoshop's primary strength is a pixel-based image editor unlike vector-based image editor. Photoshop also enables better graphics editing through its path, pen tools, shape layers, text tool, import command, and smart objects function. These tools and commands are convenient to combine pixel-based and vector-based images in one Photoshop document because it may not be necessary to use more than one program to create very complex vector graphics with numerous shapes and colors. It may be easier to use software that was created primarily for that purpose, such as Adobe Illustrator or CorelDRAW. Photoshop non-destructive smart objects can also import complex vector shape plugin. Photoshop functionality can be extended by the add-on program called Photoshop Plugin or Plugin. Adobe creates some plugins such as Adobe Camera Raw, Adobe, such as Adobe Camera Raw, where the third-party companies develop most plugins according to the Adobe specification. Some are free and some are commercial software. Most plugins work only with Photoshop or Photoshop compatible hosts, but a few can also run as a as standalone standalone application. There are various types of plugins such as filter, export, import selection, color correction, and automation. The most popular plugins are the filter plugin also known as IBF plugin, available under filter menu in the Photoshop. In Photoshop, filter plugin can either modify the current image or create content. Below are some popular types of plugin and some well-known companies associated with them. Color correction plugin, align skin software, Nick software, one software, Topaz Lab, etc. The plugin site. Special effect plugin, align skin software, auto effects software, AB Bros, Flaming PR software, 3D effect plugin, Andromeda software, Strata, etc. Adobe Camera Raw, also known as ACR, and Camera Raw is a special plugin supplied free by Adobe, used primarily to read and process raw image files so that the resultant image can be processed by Photoshop. It can be used from within the Adobe Bridge Photoshop tools. Upon loading Photoshop, a sidebar with varieties of tools and with multiple image editing appears to the left of the screen. These tools are typically fall under the categories of drawing, painting, measuring, and navigation, selection, typing, recursion. Some tools can insert a small triangle in the bottom of the toolbox icon. This can be expanded by to reveal. Let me show you exactly. Navigation tapping and some tools contains a small triangle in the bottom of the toolbox icon. This can be expanded to reveal similar tools while newer versions of Photoshop are updated to include new tools and features. Several recurring tools that exist in most versions are discussed below. Pen tools. Photoshop includes a new version of pen tools. The pen tool creates precise paths that can be manipulated using anchor point. The free-form pen tools allow the user to edit to draw paths freehand, and with the magnetic tool, the draw path attaches closely to outline of object in an image, which is useful for isolating them from the background. Clone stamp tool. The clone stamp tool that duplicates one part of image to another part of the same image by the way of brush. The duplication is either in full or in part depending on the mode. You can clone part of one layer to another layer. The clone stamp tool is useful for duplicating objects or removing a defect, removing a defect in an image. Subtools. Photoshop provides an array of subtools including rectangles, rounded rectangles, ellipses, polygons, and lines. This set can be manipulated by pen tool, direct selection tools, etc. to make better graphics. Measuring and navigation. The eyedropper tools selects a color from an area of image that is split and samples it for further use. The hand tool navigates an image by moving it in any direction, and the zoom tool enlarge the part of the image that is clicked on, allowing for closer view. Selection tool. Selection tools are used to select any all or any part of the picture to perform cut, copy, edit, or retouching operation. Cropping. The crop tool can be used to select a particular area of an image and discard the portion outside the chosen section. This tool assists in creating a focus point on an image and unnecessary or excess space. Cropping allows enhancement of a photo composition while decreasing the file size. The crop tool is in the tools of is in the tool palette, which is located on the right side of the document. By placing the cursor over the image, the user can drag the cursor to the desired area. Once the enter key is pressed, the area outside the rectangle will be cropped. The area outside the rectangle is discarded data which allow for the file size to be decreased. The crop tools can alternatively be used to extend the canvas size by clicking and dragging outside the existing image border. Slicing. The slice and slide select tools like the crop tool are used in isolating part of image. The slide tool can be used to divide an image into different sections, and these separate parts can be used as piece of web page design once HTML and CSS are applied. The slide select tools allow slide section of an image to be adjusted and shifted. Moving. The move tool can be used to drag the entirely this will be entirely of a single layer or more if they are selected. Alternatively, once an area of an image is highlighted, the move tool can be used to manually relocate the selected piece to anywhere on the canvas. Marquee. The marquee is a tool that that can make selection that are single column, rectangular, and elliptical. Elliptical. An area that has been selected can be edited without affecting the rest of the image. This tool can also crop an image. It allows for better control. In contrast to the crop tool, the marquee tool allows for more adjustment to the selected area before cropping. The marquee tool, the only marquee tool does not allow cropping the elliptical the, although the single row and the column marquee tool allows for cropping, they are not ideal. They are not ideal because they only crop a line. The rectangular marquee tool is the preferred option. Once the tool has been selected, dragging the marching ends, these dotted lines are called marching end. These dotted lines are called marching end because the dashes look like the end marching around the selected area. To set a specific size or ratio, the toolbar option provides this setting before selecting an area. The desired size or ratio must be set by adjusting the width and height. The width and height. Any changes such as color, filter, location, etc. should be made before cropping. To crop the selection, user must go to the Image tab and select Crop. Lasso tools. The lasso tools is similar to the marquee tool, however, the user can make a custom selection by drawing it freehand. There are three options for lasso tools: regular, polygonal, and magnetic. The regular lasso tools allows the user to have drawing capabilities. Photoshop will complete the selection once the mouse button is released. The user must also complete the selection by connecting the endpoint to the starting point. The marching end will indicate if a selection has been made. The polygon lasso tools will, dr- will draw only straight line, which make it an ideal choice for images with many straight lines. Unlike the regular lasso tools, the user must continually click around the image to outline the step. To complete the selection, the user must connect the endpoint to the starting point, just like the regular lasso tools. Magnetic magnetic lasso tools is considered the smart tool. It can do the same as the other two, but it can also detect the edge of an image once the user selects a starting point. It detects by examining the color pixel as the cursor moves over the desired area. The pixel is the smallest element in the image. Plugging the selection is the same as the other two. We should also display the marking end once the selection has been closed. Quick selection tools. Okay. Eraser, magic wand, magic wand, okay. Eraser, video editing, 3D extrusion, mobile integration, camera raw 3D printing, color replacement tool. With the camera raw plugin, raw images can be processed with the use of Photoshop Lightroom along with other image formats such as JPEG, TIFF, or PNG. The plugin allows users to remove noise without the side effect of over-sharpening and add grain. Even they perform post-crop paginating. Mobile integration. Color replacement tool. The color replacement tool allows you to change the color while maintaining and highlights the shadow of the original image or piece of the image by selecting brush and right-clicking. The color replacement tool is the third option now. What is important to note with this tool is the foreground color. The foreground color is what will be applied when painting along the chosen part of the image with color replacement tool. Cultural impact. Photoshop and derivatives such as Photoshop or JustShop have become a verb and sometimes used to refer images edited by Photoshop or any images manipulating program. Such derivatives. Photoshop disaster. Photoshop contest is an online game in which someone posts an image and other people manipulate the image using a raster graphic editor, older version. CS2 was released in May 2005. CS and CS was released in August 2003. CS4. PS5 was released on April 2010. PS6 in May 2012. CC on June 18, 2013. CC port CC 2014 and June 18, 2014. This is same. Uh, CC is June 18, 2013. June 14, 2014. Second November 2016. Photoshop test was an application designed specifically for tablets and touchscreen devices. It, may be, it included many of the features on the personal computer version, including layers, selection tools, adjustment, and filters. This is going to end the session.